won some funding from a group called West Focus, which is a consortium of other institutions like our own, in particularly southwest London, which includes Royal Holloway College, it includes St George's Hospital, Brunel University and other universities. And Kingston University is managing a part of West Focus. And I'm asking Matt just to pull up West Focus and the West Focus Consortium. So here you'll see it's Brunel, Kingston, Roehampton, Royal Holloway, St George's, Thames Valley University and the University of Westminster. So instead of just being part of the Landscape Interface Studio or part of the School of Architecture and Landscape or part of the Faculty of Architecture, Design and Architecture or part of Kingston University, from now on, for this semester, you're also part of this much bigger territory, and all of those institutions obviously have faculties and schools and courses that are actually, some of them similar to what we have here and some of them quite different. Obviously St George's Hospital is a hospital which focuses on healthcare, and we're doing a little bit of work also with them in relation to the Heritage to Health project, which also is linked into West Focus. So this is really about joined up thinking, joined up creativity and the opportunities that you will all have then in respect of having a kind of portfolio which will have been shared and explored across a number of different disciplines. Anything you want to add at that point? Okay, so Simon, now, so keep that in one part of your brain, okay, so that's West Focus, that's a kind of academic environment which is obviously linked to employment but specifically academic. At another level, we have been, and some of you were involved in European projects. Simon's going to explain this, I'm just going to sort of set the scene. We have been involved with funded projects from the EU, and for some of you, you were involved with North Sea Faring, which was a 3-year project from 2004 to 2007, which was about maritime heritage and spatial planning at 7 port cities around the North Sea. So some of you have been involved with that before. We're currently involved with British Waterways, who have put in 2 bids with about 15 European partners that relate to waterways. So it goes on from North Sea Faring, which was obviously about the North Sea, about, let's say, the ocean, saline water, and the ports. Now we're moving in, as you know, we worked last year with British Waterways in relation to inland waterways, and that links into our theme of infrastructure. So I'm going to let Simon explain about waterways particularly. Yeah.
So with the central theme of inland waterways, which obviously entitles most of the projects that you're working on at the moment, we wondered what would be the best way to facilitate kind of exchange between a kind of growing community of participants. And we actually decided that we would try working with a wiki as a starting point. And most of you will know about Wikipedia, which is a wiki of kinds. And we're actually going to be, our workshop today is going to be focused on the generation of our own wiki. And Matt's going to describe how the wiki provided that we've chosen will work for us and what the opportunities for editing it are. And then I'm going to describe how that activity will be organised across the day and hopefully what we will produce by 5 o'clock, or how we will reveal what has been produced by 5 o'clock today.
Yeah? Okay, so right, this is the wiki homepage, and I've just
Would it help if we drew some more lines?
can everyone see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a sort of, it's pretty rough at the moment, and that's the whole idea, that it's just slapping ideas onto this site and everyone gets involved and just builds it up and keeps it alive and breathing. But just as a quick paragraph to sort of sum up what Pat and Simon have said about what we're doing. It says here, this project will involve the rapid assimilation and expression of outputs from teaching projects. Essentially, stuff you're doing on the Way in Arun and other inland waterways projects you might be doing are going to be sort of uploaded onto here. Ideas you've had, sketch stuff, inspirations, all that kind of thing will be rapidly assimilated and expressed on this site. This is a sort of map that I've made that just sort of describes where we sort of are thinking last week, actually, so this might have moved on, but it gives you an idea of where we're at. In terms of the site and what it does, I'm going to invite you all as writers, which means that you have the power to edit pages, upload videos, upload photos, upload PDFs, all that kind of stuff. So, just to show you how...
Sorry, my name is already taken.
You will see that there are 8 groups in a line, or 8 titles in a line. So from group 1 would be the bioengineering group, group 2 would be the water management group, group 3 would be the entrepreneurs, group 4 would be the interpretation group, group 5 the new image nature group, group 6 the participation group, group 7 are the twitchers, group 8 are the new ways with materials group. And really each one of these group headings relates to a page and an opportunity for you as a group to edit in critical material which you think would best represent the kind of cutting edge of practice and identity in relation to each of those headings, so that that can be shared with the wider community. Okay, and obviously the editing of those pages follows exactly the same kind of editing techniques as just used for your own profile. So you can draw in material from across media. There are, if you want to look at other examples of how pages are built, at the bottom here we've already built some pages under some kind of broader title. So there's some mapping material which has been edited in. Again, just in terms of monitoring, the currency of information, and I think this is really the point. The stuff we load onto Blackboard, the stuff you put in your blog, actually that's kind of pretty out of date pretty quickly. We want to really use our kind of collective kind of sifting powers to really make sure we update the most contemporary information. And I mean, some of you might have already read this from the Guardian website, that just as of this week, some eco-activists occupied Ravensgate Island, just in the middle of the Thames down from me, which was formerly a conference centre. So I mean, that's really kind of exciting, interesting news about what's happening right on our doorstep. So as I said, really these pages are all just different ways of ideas for editing information. But for this exercise, and over the next kind of hour, what we'd like you to do is get into your groups and actually identify some material that you might already have on your hard drive, or alternatively that you know how to access from the web, that you can load up onto these pages here. And then at 4 o'clock, or approaching 4 o'clock today, we'll have a review of the content that's been assembled by each of the groups in the same way that we reviewed the content at the end of last week's workshop.